number would have been negative, then my answer would have been negative. Okay, here they say subtract the second monomial from the first monomial. So that means they want me to subtract. So I'm going to put a negative sign there. So 10 and minus 7 is 3ab. Since my bigger number is positive, my answer is positive. Okay. Now remember, they say subtract the second monomial from the first monomial. So I've got a negative 7m squared. Now I'm going to subtract it from the negative 3m squared. Okay, because they tell me in the directions to subtract. So I'm going to subtract the second one from the first one. That's what I did. But remember what this means? It means subtract the negative. So that means 7m squared, positive 7m squared. And since I'm going to subtract the negative from the 3m squared, it's going to become a positive 3m squared. And since they're both positive, I'm going to add. That's going to give me a positive 10m squared because they're both positive. I know my answer is positive. That's my answer. Here again, I've got to subtract the second term from the first term. So I'm going to write negative 16b squared minus a positive 20b squared. Right? Okay. So if up here this means subtract the negative, well here this means subtract the positive. So if I subtract the positive, what do I have left? I've got a negative left. Now I've got a negative and a negative, and when the signs are the same, I add, and my answer is the sign of whatever I'm adding. So the signs are negative, so my answer is going to be negative, so I'm going to write my negative. And then negative 16 and then negative 20, I'm going to add those because the signs are the same. So it's going to give me negative 36b squared. That's my answer. Okay? Whoa, what happened? Go back. Okay. So then again, 10ab. They want me to subtract it from the second term, so negative 7, the second term from the first term. Okay. So again, subtract the negative. So that becomes a positive 7ab because I subtracted a negative. I got rid of the negative. So a positive 10 and a positive 7, the signs are the same, so I'm going to add. That gives me a positive 17ab. Okay. Now, here they want us to, the directions say, well, we've already done this, so you should know how to do this. The directions say, simplify the polynomials. Express the answers in descending powers of x. So I want us to simplify that. What this means is that we've got to combine like terms. Simplify means combine like terms. So let's color coordinate like we did before. 2x squared, that's all the x squared. So then I got a negative xy, that's all the xy's. And then I've got a positive 3y squared and a positive 3y squared. So I'm going to add all the same colors. I'm going to add them together because those are all like terms. Because remember, a like term has the same variable and the same exponent. Same variable, same exponent. Okay. So x squared plus, 2x squared plus 2x squared. Since they're both positive, I'm going to add. That's going to give me 4x squared. So I'm going to cancel those out so I won't get confused later. Now I've got a negative and a negative. Well, since the signs are the same, I know I'm going to add, and that's going to give me 2xy, and since both the signs are negative, I know my answer is going to be negative 2xy. Cancel those out. And then here I've got two positives. So that means I'm going to add because the signs are the same, and it's going to give me a positive 5y squared because 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay, and I already have it in alphabetical order, so I don't have to rearrange my terms. I just leave it how it is, and that's my answer. Okay, let's do some more color coordinating here. 2y cubed is in there. Any other? Yep. negative 2y cubed. Is there any other y cubes? Nope. X squared, 4x squared, y squared. Here's an x squared, y squared. And there's no x cubed, so that's gonna, that one's gonna be by itself. Now the x should go first because x comes before y, so I'm gonna put the 3x squared first. Cancel it out. Then I'm gonna do the xy's because xy comes before y, so they're both positive, right? So that means I'm gonna add 4 plus 2 is positive 6 because they're both positive. Positive 6 x squared y squared. Cancel those. And then I've got a positive 2 and a negative 3. The signs are different, guys. So that means we subtract. When the signs are different, we subtract. So what's 3 minus 2? 1. What's the sign of the bigger number? It's negative. So it's going to be a negative 1. But I'm not going to write the 1. I'm just going to write a y cubed. Because if it's just y cubed by itself, we know that that's just 1 y cubed. We don't write the 1. So I'm going to cancel that out. And that's our answer. And it's in alphabetical order. X, x, y, and then y cubed by itself. Okay. We've got 2 more to go and we'll be done with our checkup. Okay. Okay. Color coordinate. 3x squared. 2x squared. No more x squared, so done there. Negative y squared. No y squared, so I'm done there. And then I've got a positive 2xy and a negative xy. So 3x squared and 2x squared. The signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. 3 minus 2 is x. And since the bigger number is positive, I know my answer is going to be positive x squared. See that? Here, we've got 2xy and a negative xy. Well, the signs are different, so I know I'm going to subtract. And then the bigger number is positive, so I know that my answer is going to be positive. So 2xy minus 1xy just leaves me with 1xy. Right? Then here I've got negative y squared. That's my answer. Okay, let's go to the next one. You don't have to color coordinate. Like if you don't have highlighters, that's cool. All you've got to do, you could do this too. Look, you connect them. Those are like terms, and that's it. Those are the only like terms because this is y squared and this is xy, and they're by themselves. There's no other terms that are like that one, like those. So they're by themselves. So the only like terms are the 3x squared and the positive 6x squared. So we notice that both of them are positive. So that means I'm going to add them. 6 plus 3 is 9x squared. So I'm going to cancel it out. And then what's going to go first? The y or the x? The x is going to go first because it's alphabetical order, remember? And x comes before y. And then the negative 5y squared is going to be all by itself in the back. And there, we're done with our checkup.